scientific death.
In modern aerospace and advanced materials manufacturing, engineers rely on massive industrial-scale vacuum chambers to simulate the harsh, zero-pressure conditions of space. This gauge shows atmospheric pressure. Down here at sea level, we exist under an invisible baseline weight. Earth's atmosphere presses against every square inch of our bodies with a force of 14.7 pounds, or roughly 101.3 kilopascals. Popular culture often portrays a vacuum as an aggressive, active force, a giant machine sucking everything inward. This diagram illustrates the actual physics at play. Stripping away the air molecules inside a chamber doesn't create suction, it simply removes the internal resistance. This allows the crushing weight of the Earth's outside atmosphere to press violently inward against the chamber walls. Industrial vacuum chambers function as structural shields, designed to withstand the crushing weight of the atmosphere once internal resistance is removed. In 1992, a technician stepped inside a walk-in industrial vacuum chamber to conduct a routine internal maintenance check. After he completed the inspection, the automated system malfunctioned. The heavy-duty vacuum pumps engaged, rapidly evacuating the air from the sealed vessel while the technician was still trapped inside. Within seconds, a severe physical differential materialized. The surrounding environment plunged towards 0 kilopascals, but the air trapped inside the technician's respiratory system remained at the sea level baseline of 101.3. The vessel's steel hull easily maintains its integrity under this pressure, while the technician's internal organs are subjected to forces they cannot withstand. The sequence of events that follows serves as a forensic case study in fluid mechanics and human biology. This chart tracks a 15-second timeline as pressure plummets to a near total vacuum. Within 2 seconds, ambient air evacuates faster than the technician can exhale. This trapped air is governed by Boyle's law, stating pressure and volume have an inverse relationship. Because the ambient pressure surrounding the body is collapsing, the volume of the normal atmospheric air sealed inside the lungs is forced to expand. This sudden mathematical expansion results directly in a physiological condition known as pulmonary barotrauma. The expanding gas exerts massive tensile forces, pulling outward against the microscopic architecture of the lungs. Within moments, these outward forces exceed the physical structural limits of the delicate alveoli sacs, causing them to violently tear apart. These ruptures immediately push the expanding air bubbles directly into the exposed bloodstream, creating lethal blockages. This initial phase of death in a vacuum has nothing to do with suffocation. It is a mechanical tissue failure dictated entirely by Boyle's law, turning a normal breath of air into a destructive internal weapon. Returning to the timeline, as we cross the 10-second mark, the ambient pressure flatlines near absolute zero. This triggers a second process called ebullism, the spontaneous vaporization of bodily fluids driven entirely by a lack of atmospheric pressure, independent of any added heat. In thermodynamics, a fluid's boiling point is not a static temperature. It is directly tied to the ambient pressure of its surrounding environment. This phase diagram for water shows the fatal threshold. In a near-zero pressure state, the boiling point of water drops significantly below the normal human body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. As the body crosses this thermodynamic boundary, exposed fluids like saliva on the tongue, tears in the eyes, and blood plasma spontaneously begin to boil and turn to vapor. This rapid generation of internal gas forces the soft tissues to swell dramatically across the entire body. By the 15-second mark, total oxygen deprivation causes absolute hypoxia. Unconsciousness takes hold instantly, followed by terminal cardiac arrest long before engineers can manually repressurize the chamber. Once the physical lung structures fail mechanically, the laws of thermodynamics guarantee cellular death. Biological systems simply cannot survive rapid phase shifts in environmental pressure. The 1992 casualty proved that operational training and warning labels are completely inadequate against the speed of fluid mechanics. In response, global regulatory bodies mandated the immediate installation of hardwired mechanical interlocks across all large-scale vacuum facilities. These interlocks function by physically breaking the electrical circuit that powers the massive vacuum pumps. Until the heavy steel doors are definitively and securely latched, the machinery cannot receive power. To provide an additional redundant layer of automated defense, Facilities also integrated internal infrared motion sensors. If these sensors detect a human heat signature inside the vessel, the system logic strictly overrides any manual or automated command to initiate the evacuation sequence. True industrial safety requires removing the possibility of human error entirely. The only reliable defense is using rigid physical circuitry to block catastrophic mechanical actions. But engineers still needed an immediate neutralization vector, a reliable way out if those interlocks somehow failed and a vacuum was mistakenly pulled on an occupant. The solution was the mandatory retrofit of the internal emergency dump valve inside every large-scale chamber. Pulling this specific lever physically bypasses the electrical pump circuitry and instantly floods the sealed chamber with outside atmospheric air. Because the valve is totally manual and mechanical, it is completely immune to the kind of automated electrical failures that triggered the 1992 sequence. Beyond the hardware, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration radically updated its administrative guidelines, officially classifying high vacuum environments as permit-required confined spaces. Work inside these vessels now demands a strict protocol, requiring a dedicated safety watch stationed outside the chamber, maintaining continuous monitoring of the occupant at all times. The legacy of the 1992 atmospheric hammer casualty is a global engineering framework that assumes human error is inevitable. To survive contact with unforgiving physical laws, we must build and enforce equally unforgiving physical failsafes.
If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment below with your favorite emoji.